Welcome back. In the previous video I looked at when everything was positive. Let's have a look what's happening here. We've got a negative there and we've got a negative there. Keep talking about some teachers teach the FOIL method. That's when you use the first from each bracket, you go that times that. The outside, this is the outside, they're the outside edges, so they multiply that times that. Then they go the inside, they're the like inner parts, that times that. And they talk about last. So that's the last of the first bracket and that's the last of the second bracket. I prefer to go that times that. And these is called eyebrows. X multiplied by x is x squared. X multiplied by minus 4. So that's minus 4x. This one is minus 3 multiplied by x. That's an upside down eyebrow. So that's minus 3x. Now the big one. A negative 3 times a negative 4. A negative 3 times a negative 4. Two negatives make a positive. So you always got that problem. Two negatives make a positive when you're multiplying. So watch out for the trap. So that two negatives there make a positive and 3 4s are 12. Let's have a look what happened again. So this was a minus 3, which is that one. This is a minus 4, which is that one. So altogether we're going to go, we're actually adding in reverse. So we're adding going down instead of adding going up. So minus 4 and minus another 3 altogether is minus 7. And I've got the plus 12. So let's have a look what happened. Two negatives became a positive for the 12. So when we have a positive here, there's two possibilities. They could both be negative or they could both be positive. But they can't be different. But we've still got the same rule I talk about all the time. Two numbers that multiply to 12 that add up to 7. And we can talk about minus 4 and minus 3, but it's just as easy to go like on this one here. We've got what can multiply to 8? You can get 1 and 8, you can get 2 and 4. Now because this plus here, we talk about and have the same sign, or their sign is the same. So it's going to be either a plus and a plus, or a minus and a minus, because of that plus there. Let's have a look at it. Of those two pairs, which one adds up to 6? Of course it adds up to minus 6, and we could be fussy and go that's a minus 2 and a minus 4. But when they're the same, you can ignore that and just go two numbers that multiply to 8 that add up to 6, which is that one there. So now I've got, how can I get an x squared? I've got an x and an x. Because I'm doing a multiplication there. Whenever in math two things are together, it means there's a multiply in between. Doesn't matter if you write it in, it just doesn't need to be there. So now I can have a 2 and a 4. How can I end up with a negative here or a subtraction here? Both of them are negatives or takeaways, and they become that plus. And when if I expanded the bracket out, it would give us the minus 6x. So there it is, factorised, and most of the time we don't write that there. So another one. What does the plus there tell us? They're the same. And then if you look at this, they're both negative. So it's this weird thing in maths of looking at the back to tell us they're the same. So now I've got two brackets. I've got an x and an x is an x squared. And I go, how do I multiply two numbers to get 4? It could be a 1 and 4. It could be a 2 and a 2. And I keep nagging about all the time that I start at 1. Non-thinking method. Which of those adds up to 5? Most people, by the way, once you've written down 1 and 4 and you get used to it, you see it without writing that down. So we've got a 1 and a 4. They're both the same sign and they both have to be negative. So now we can get pretty quick. 12 could be 1 and 12, could be 2 and 6, could be 3 and 4. Which one of those adds up to 8? So they've got to be the same sign and they are both negative again. Let's have a look at it. Two brackets, that could be an x and an x. How can I get a 12? The 2 and the 6 adds up to 8, so I've got a 2 and a 6. They're the same sign, so they're either both negative or they're both addition. So on this one, they're both negative or both subtraction. So I go back to where we started. This one also says they're the same, but this time they are both positive. Let's have a look at it. How can I get two numbers and multiply the 2? There's only one way, you've got the 1 times the 2. By the way, if you want to write the 2 times the 1, that's okay. So I can get the x and the x, which gives us the x squared. I can get the 1 and the 2, and they're both plus. So if you write that as x plus 2, bracket with an x plus 1, it's the same answer. It's like if we multiplied 3 times 5 is the same as multiplying 5 times 3. So the power of multiplication is you can write it either way. In the next video we'll do more negatives.